Welcome to another lesson, our A to Z Rumba beginner level. It's going to be for men and women, same information. Let's get started. Okay, so today I would like you to practice your most fundamental walks, which we did lesson before. But instead of practicing it as a step, we're going to put some interesting idea behind it. So there is many ideas. There is fundamental ideas and there is more like technical ideas. So today I wanted to give you a little bit more technical idea. So fundamental ideas, it was like a feet position, brushing, doing pendulum, changing your weight, positioning your feet correctly. All this we already practiced. But today I want, because you already went through that, I hope you remember those. But today I want to give you a little bit more advanced level, a little bit higher level idea. It's the breathing of the movements. So when you do all your basic fundamental movements, like you did basic in place, Cuban rock, you did your basic walk, so forth, so forth. I want you to focus on one idea for now as we're going through the step, and always focus on one idea. But today idea will be the breathing of the movement. What is breathing of the movement? Is remember we have that muscular position, high hip, neutral, low. So that idea that going from muscle to bone create that flexibility, musicality, that breathing of your movement, which is so important. So I want you to focus only on that. And that breathing happens on count and. So for example, as we're doing our basing in place, we transfer or we step on count 2, and on count and we're going into bone, reaching the maximum. Once you reach the maximum, rebounds to the next. 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and. So now we're going through our basic in place, but mainly focusing only on how much breathing we create in our body, not just the figure 8, not just squeezing, but the whole body, using the whole body breathing, compressing down without losing the spine, of course. So this is the breathing, this is the heart of the movement. So the ability to go from muscle, high position into bone, that will create a beautiful continuity and groundness for your movement. So today we're going to go through every movement and only find how can we breathe, how can we create that beautiful Cuban motion in our body. So we're going 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and. So we're going to focus that on count 2, we get a little bit taller, and on count and, we focus on our shoulder going through the side, into the hip, into the heel, melting gradually down. Once we reach the maximum, we take off 2 and 3 and 4, 1. Now from here, we need to step side. So we would like to use that breathing, the Cuban motion, and to even create that step. And so this step has become part of our breathing. And 4, 1. Now, as we're going side to side Cuban rock, not just change your weight and do a figure 8. Let's focus on our shoulder getting on top of our hip. We're going and into bone. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. So this will be a little bit tougher. So it's very different than just doing figure 8 because it's involved now the whole body. 2, tummy in chest out. You see how our shoulder getting on top of the hip, and then you melt into bone. And 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and. So the next step is a time step. Same idea. Instead of just doing steps, we're going to focus on that breathing of our step. And 2 and 3 and pay attention here as you're taking a step, you're using that and to activate that leg. And 4, 1. And also here, when you collect leg, you're going to use and to bring the leg together. And 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Next one, basic walk together with our and. So now as we're doing our and, we're inviting this leg through our standing leg. And now going back, 2, and as we're melting here, this activates our front leg. And 30, and 4, 1, and 2, and 30, and 4. And the same forward and back basic. And 2, high, and 30, and 4, 1. Now shoulder to hip, low, and 2, and 30, and 4, 1. And we're counting with the and. So we train our body to constantly doing and, regardless what we do. The same as for our spot turn. Here will be a little bit tougher. So now as you say and, you have to not only melt into bone, you have to turn, and the maximum will be on the end after the turn is done. And 30, so part of 3 is that you'll be pivoting and 4, 1, and. So you have to find when you can do that and to the maximum as you twist or as you pivot forward. And 2, and 30, and 4. And the same if you're going to do New York, and. So don't settle too deep here. As you're changing into your and, turn and do maximum here on the way out. And 30, and 4, 1, and 2, and 30, and 4. The same shoulder to shoulder. And 2, and 30, and grounded. 4, 1, and 2, and 30, 4. Imagine like you have a belt and this belt pressing you down. Maybe on the next lesson I'll wear the belt. Press and 30, press belt down, and 4, 1, and 2, and 30, and 4, 1. So practice your basic walks with your and compression, and see you in the next lesson.